My name is Ashley Harper, and I'm a partner at Beard and Stroop and Associates CPAs, where we specialize in small business tax and accounting. Today, we're talking about sending Form 1099 NEC and why they're not optional for small businesses. It seems like a minor detail, but not sending 1099s can lead to serious consequences. As a small business owner, it's easy to get distracted from sending 1099 forms to vendors and independent contractors. We can help, but we need some info from you as well. Here's why sending 1099s needs to be a priority for your business. First, there is an audit risk. If the IRS doesn't receive a 1099 for payments your business made, it raises red flags. The IRS also checks up on you by asking questions about whether you had vendors who needed 1099s on your tax return. The IRS views these 1099 forms as their best chance to collect tax from independent contractors. While there's no exact formula for how much your audit risk increases if you fail to file required 1099s, we know that it is a significant factor. When the IRS discovers missing forms 1099-C, that is a red flag to audit your whole tax return. Next, you need to think about the penalties for noncompliance. If the risks of increased audit scrutiny aren't enough to convince you, consider the financial penalties. The IRS can impose fines ranging from $60 to $310 per form for late filing, depending on how overdue they are. If you intentionally disregard the requirement, the minimum penalty jumps to $630 per form, or 10% of the unreported income, whichever is greater. These penalties can add up fast, especially if you work with multiple vendors and contractors. Failing to send 1099s isn't just a costly mistake, it's one that can quickly spiral into a financial headache. One overlooked risk of not issuing 1099s is the potential disallowance of your tax deductions. Payments to vendors and contractors must be documented with a 1099 to count as deductible expenses. If you skip this step, the IRS or State Department of Revenue might reject these expenses during an audit, increasing your taxable income and your tax bill. Here's the good news. We're happy to prepare these 1099s for you and get them sent to the IRS. However, we need you to provide some information so that we can get this done for you. Each vendor needs to complete a W-9 form to provide basic information like legal name, address, and tax ID number. The W-9 also asks if they're taxed as a corporation. Knowing if they're an LLC is not enough. Here's more good news. Anything that you pay by card does not require a 1099 NEC because the credit card processor will send a 1099-K instead. Now that you know why issuing 1099 forms is not optional for running a small business, collect that W-9 info so we can protect you from penalties and disallowed deductions. Skipping this essential step is not worth risking an IRS audit. We need to work together so that you can stay out of trouble. Think of it as a small investment of time and effort that pays off in peace of mind and financial security.